If you're thinking about selling your home in Philly and basing your price off of Zillow or what your neighbor sold for, you're probably going to get it wrong. And I'm not saying that lightly. I see sellers leave 30,000, 50,000, even more on the table just because they don't understand what determines the value of a home. And the reality is in Philly, two homes on the same block can sell for very different prices. And it has nothing to do with what most people think. So if you're even considering selling your home or just want to know what your house is worth, this video will help you save from making a very expensive mistake. Let's get one thing straight. Your home is not worth what Zillow says. It's not worth what your neighbor sold their house for. Your house is worth what a buyer is willing to pay for it in the current market. And the buyer bases their opinion off of what is also currently available. And buyers in Philly, they're walking through everything. They're comparing everything and they're making decisions pretty fast. So here's what actually matters. First, and this is the one that everyone says, but not everyone understands, location. It's not just South Philly versus Fishtown. It's block by block. In this city, value can change just by being one street over. Closer to East Passyunk, different value. Quieter block, different value. Easier parking, different value. I've seen two nearly identical homes sell $30,000 apart because of where they were situated on the block. The different sunlight, the different rooftop views, the neighbor. Buyers aren't just buying the house, they're buying the block and the neighboring properties to it. It's not just your view that you're looking at, you're also kind of getting your neighbor's view and a view into their backyard maybe. Second, what most sellers get wrong, it's not just about condition, it's about the systems of the house. Buyers don't care about condition the way sellers think they do. You may be looking at your kitchen and think it's a little outdated, but it's fine. And honestly, most buyers would probably agree. They'll paint cabinets, swap countertops, change out the hardware and finishes over time. What they don't want is to move in and immediately have to deal with the big ticket items. If a buyer walks through your house and already knows that the HVAC is older, the roof may need some work, plumbing hasn't been touched, the electrical is outdated, they're going to come in with lower offers. This is where deals fall apart because all of that's not a weekend project. That's 10,000, 20,000, even 30,000, depending on everything that needs to get done. I see this all the time. An updated house will get outbeat by a grandma house that's been updated in all of the big systems where the roof has been maintained over the years. The previous owner has updated the plumbing and electrical, and the HVAC has been serviced every year and still has a few years left on its life, versus an updated home who has neglected all of those big ticket items just to make it look pretty. That's what I call lipstick on a pig. Most buyers will live with an outdated kitchen or bathroom, but they don't want to move in and replace a heater right away. So if you're a seller in Philly, this is a big mindset shift. Ugly does not kill deals. Expensive surprises do. Number 3 is layout. Layout matters a lot more than people think, especially with row homes. Is your third bedroom actually a bedroom or is it in the basement? Because buyers don't treat them the same. It doesn't matter if you didn't mind it. Buyers do. Most of them. Do you have a bathroom on the main level? Is the basement usable or is it just storage? These things directly impact how a home feels, and that changes what buyers are willing to pay. Number 4 is parking and outdoor space. And if you live here, you already know this matters. Parking alone can swing your value $25,000 to $100,000 depending on the neighborhood. Same with outdoor spaces, roof decks, patios, even just clean backyard spaces. Buyers will stretch for lifestyle upgrades, especially in areas like East Passyunk, Fishtown, Graduate Hospital, Rittenhouse area. Those are the neighborhoods where I see buyers looking for a specific lifestyle and willing to make that stretch if the house is the right fit. Now let's talk about comps. Comps is a word that we use to talk about properties that have recently sold within a certain proximity of the subject property that we are talking about. This is where people really mess up pricing. Not every nearby sale is a comp, or at least a good one. If you're looking at a property that was fully renovated and yours isn't, that's not a comp. If they had parking and you don't, that's not a comp. If the layout flows better, it gets more light, or it just presents itself better, it's not a comp. And this is exactly where Zillow gets it wrong. Zillow can't understand how a buyer feels walking through your house. It just pulls numbers. Now, obviously, all of these examples of looking at one with parking when yours doesn't, looking at one that's more updated when yours doesn't, it's helpful to look at as a comp to help you price, but you should know if yours is subjectively worse or better than the comps that you're looking at. If yours is better than a comp that you're looking at, you could say that you could justify pricing higher than what they sold at. If you're looking at a comp that has parking and yours doesn't, and it's a little more updated and yours isn't, you could say that your property is subjectively worse and you should justify pricing lower than what that comp sold for. So it's not that they're not comps, it's just not something that you should use to try to get the same price that they did. Then there's timing. The same house can sell for different prices depending on when it hits the market. Spring, more buyers, more competition. Winter, less buyers, more hesitation. And right now, buyers are more selective now than ever before, and that's why pricing and presentation matters more than ever. Finally, number 7, this is the part that most sellers underestimate, and that is how your home is presented and marketed. I've seen very similar houses sell for completely different prices just based on how it was listed. Bad photos, bad strategy, overpriced from day one, it sits. And once it sits, buyers start assuming something's wrong, even if there's nothing wrong with it. But when it's positioned correctly from the start, that's when you create competition, and that's when you get stronger offers and better terms. So if you're sitting there thinking, okay, so what's my home actually worth? The answer is it depends. It depends with how your home stacks up against what buyers are seeing right now. Not what sold 6 months ago, and definitely not what Zillow says. And this is exactly what I help my sellers figure out every day. How to position their home so it stands out, attracts serious buyers, and sells for the strongest price. If you're even thinking about selling or just want a real breakdown of exactly what you think you could sell for and what you'd walk away with, reach out to me. I'll tell you exactly where you stand, what buyers care about, and what you should do to fix up your home before it actually hits the market.